This episode of Internet Today is brought to you by Warface. Available for free now on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch.
Folks, we have some very sad news for you today because one of our show's recurring characters, Mad Mike Hughes, he has left this flat Earth for the final time after a malfunction on board one of his rockets sent him crashing back down to this flat Earth after launching him 5,000 feet into the air.
It's real sad stuff.
Yeah.
But here's a little bit of backstory from Mad Mike Hughes, if you somehow missed it the first few times. He was a former limo driver turned daredevil turned flat earther who, for years, attempted to launch himself into the sky in one of his own steam-powered homemade rockets so that he could somehow then prove that the Earth was flat.
Yeah.
Despite, the obvious fact that these rockets would never be able to come close to even the cruising altitude of a passenger jet airliner.
It would have been a lot easier to just buy a flight.
Yeah, the highest altitude he was ever able to reach happened just about 2 years ago in March of 2018 when his rocket launch was successful. It topped out at an altitude of 1,875 feet, or 572 meters for anyone watching from outside the United States. And that sounds like a lot. See, it sounds pretty high, right?
Yeah, but... And at the very least, it was a successful launch.
Yeah.
And he was, he survived it.
How many successful rocket launches have you done?
Probably not a lot.
Hater.
Maybe less than one even.
Yeah.
But yeah, 1,800 feet, that's pretty tall.
Yeah.
But by comparison, if it were, true that he was actually doing these launches to prove that the Earth was flat, he could have gotten almost the exact same view by going up to the observation deck in One World Trade Center in New York City. And he would have gotten a lot better view by doing what millions of people do every day on this planet, flying an airplane. Even a small plane would have a cruising altitude of about 15,000 feet. But if he, was like, I'm going to go Los Angeles to Vegas, $60 on Southwest Airlines, he'd be able to look out at that landscape at around 35,000 feet, which is pretty much 18 times higher than he was ever able to reach in his rocket. Also, when you're blasting off in a rocket, I would assume that you don't really get a lot of comprehensible time to look out and observe your surroundings.
A lot of G-forces.
Yeah, a lot of getting tossed around.
Loud. It's a stressful environment.
Yeah, no, unlike, getting on a plane, which, for some people...
Opening that window.
Kind of stressful.
Taking a gander outside.
Well, you see the problem, Elliot, and, obviously the flat earthers have already debunked this.
They put lenses on the windows.
They're
to
like
make it
fisheye
seem
lenses.
curved.
That's what they do. That's how they get away with it.
That's how they do it.
And you hate to see it. And this is a huge conspiracy that goes, thousands of employees at Boeing and Airbus. They're all in on it. And they refuse to talk about it.
And the craziest thing is, when the plane is on the tarmac.
Everything looks normal.
Everything looks normal.
Yeah.
So they're very special windows where, the higher up you go, the rounder things look.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool technology.
It's amazing.
They want you to see more of the landscape.
Yeah.
It gives you something to do on the airline.
Listen, I might not like these globalists, but they are good at what they do.
Yeah, they are very good at, keeping conspiracies afloat.
Yeah.
So bravo for that. Now,
So to be fair, launching from the ground and being able to make it up high enough to prove that the Earth was flat wasn't the end goal here. I mean, the plan was to eventually launch one of these rockets from a balloon that was already 20 miles up in the air.
Easy as pie.
Man is thinking outside the box in ways no one else is.
That's the thing. Is
brilliant.
It is sheer brilliance.
Yeah. So that way, with the balloon and all that, he would have had the head start necessarily in order to reach outer space.
Yeah, if you're already 20 miles up, what's another 30 or 40 miles?
And once he was there, he could whip out his camera, provide the photographic proof that he's been searching for, that the Earth is indeed flat.
Yes.
Because this is a worldwide conspiracy. Every space organization, including Elon Musk's SpaceX, they have all clearly been altering footage and photographs for years.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, even kids who send GoPros up in balloons, they're editing in the curvature of the Earth. I mean, the GoPro lens designed to trick you about the curvature of the Earth.
The GoPro lens was not invented to provide a wider landscape in extreme sports. It was invented because GoPro knew that amateur scientists would be sending these things up to just the rim of space.
GoPro more like Globe Pro.
Yeah.
Because they're pro globe.
Sure.
Got it.
Now, realistically, though, neither of us were ever entirely convinced that Mad Mike Hughes was actually a flat earther at all.
He just liked the community.
He was fleecing that community. It seems like he might have just claimed to be a part of that movement in order to convince actual flat earthers to fund his stunts. He was a daredevil after all, yeah. Mad Mike, he was already into launching rockets well before proclaiming that he was a flat earther. He'd successfully launched one all the way back in 2014, but when he attempted to raise money for another rocket 2 years later, the fundraising campaign completely fizzled out after earning just $310, which brings me to believe that he didn't even contribute to himself, or he was the only contributor.
Yeah.
Now, after that failed campaign, he claimed to be a flat earther and said that he was conducting these launches not as a stuntman, not as a daredevil, but to prove once and for all that the Earth was indeed flat. Boom, there you go, funding secured.
Yeah, he did it.
The online flat Earth community quickly came to his aid and provided him with the nearly $8,000 needed in order to build his new rocket.
That's incredibly cheap for a rocket, by the way.
Yes. I don't know. Obviously, safety wasn't the paramount concern with these rockets, but he was a daredevil.
Yeah. Elon Musk, those rockets cost $1 billion. No.
Give me $8,000 and a bottle of whiskey. Yeah. I'll get you a rocket. Anyways, according to an article on BuzzFeed News, the flat Earth thing was confirmed to be total bullshit as they'd reached out to his PR rep who stated the following, and this is after he died apparently. So his PR person was quick to be like, all right, yeah, he's dead, but we need to get this out there. He was not a flat earther.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so the day apparently that he died, the PR person reached out and said this: "We used flat Earth as a PR stunt, period."
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Quote, "He was a true daredevil decades before the latest round of rocket missions. Flat Earth allowed us to get so much publicity that we kept going. I know he didn't believe in flat Earth, and it was a shtick."
Holy shit.
I mean, he really kept to it, and he kept selling the whole thing, though.
Hell of a grift.
I know, the ruse continued.
Yeah.
He even commented on the whole thing as recently as July and August of last year, and said that, yeah, these launches were indeed stepping stones towards proving that Earth is shaped like a Frisbee.
Man, that's crazy.
His greatest stunt of all was tricking flat earthers into believing him, knowing that they'd be very upset if it turned out that he was just fleecing them the whole time.
Well, now I feel bad because I made that Colin Kaepernick style graphic of him where it's like, believe in something even if it means sacrificing everything, just do it, Nike. But now I know he didn't actually believe in it.
Yeah, no, and it kind of makes me feel bad.
Yeah.
But we kind of anticipated that the whole time.
I mean, if you're building rockets in your backyard shed and personally launching yourself,
but I love
it's a dangerous thing.
I do love that in retrospect, this guy just wanted to be Evel Knievel.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Cool.
Yeah. And he knew the risks that were involved.
Yeah. And like I said, how many rockets have you built?
It's the only thing is that it's such a cool cherry on top that he was just fucking taking these idiots' money.
No, I don't believe the Earth's flat. What do you think? I'm a fucking idiot.
I wanted it for my stunts.
I just want to launch myself in a rocket because it's fun and it's cool.
They'll give you money if you tell them that you believe them. It's crazy.
Anyways, regardless of the actual purpose of these attempts, he did have big plans for 2020. He had another launch lined up, and this time it was being filmed for a TV series on the Science Channel called Homemade Astronauts.
That show is going to be canceled.
Yeah, I don't know if that's ever going to see the light of day now. Sadly, though, he actually did go through with the launch this time around, and it was his last.
Yes.
On Saturday of this past weekend in the desert, somewhere outside Barstow, the worst city in California. With TV.
Sorry, Barstow fans.
It's a shithole. TV cameras rolling, press in attendance. It's a big day. Mad Mike Hughes, he launches from the Earth in his latest steam-powered rocket, but shortly after liftoff, the parachute, which he was, it would have allowed him to float gently back down to Earth after reaching peak altitude. It was supposed to go up with him in the launch.
He left it behind.
But yeah, I don't know if it got caught or something. It broke away. Like immediately. You can see it in the footage. The parachute falls off. It does not leave.
Everyone reacts around like, oh no.
Oh yeah.
Like we joked last time we talked about him.
Yeah.
Which ironically was I think 2 years almost to the day from now. It was literally February of 2018 or something like that. That everything this man does resembled Wile E. Coyote.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is a very Wile E. Coyote death.
Blasting off and leaving your parachute behind is like the most Wile E. Coyote way to go out ever.
Yeah. But yeah, parachute didn't go up with him, so obviously when he came back down, he came back down at
the
full
force,
speed and
directly into
and died immediately on impact.
Yes. So all flat earther bullshit aside, I mean, this dude was one of a kind.
Yeah.
He was a fearless daredevil who held not only launched rockets not only was an actual limo driver, but held a world record for jumping a limousine through the air. And then he just pivoted into amateur space travel.
Yeah.
Literally one of a kind.
This guy thought so far outside the box. Like, this is all shit most people would be like, no, why would I do that? That's insane.
And ended it all with a fucking grift on a conspiracy community. Love it. So, yes,
he lived a long life, too. He was like 70 years old.
Yeah, he wasn't young.
Yeah.
So, he lived life to the fullest.
Yeah. Well, respect.
Yeah, respect to Mad Mike. I think in one quote years ago on one of his attempts, AP basically asked him, justifiably, don't you think this is nuts? And he was like, we're all living on borrowed time, baby. And he's not wrong.
Yeah.
He went out doing what he loved.
Yeah.
Flying rockets. So yes, we salute you, Mad Mike, and we ask that everyone watching this, please refrain from mocking him in the comments below.
Yeah.
This man was a hero, sort of.
I think he kind of was.
Yeah, he might have been a little strange, but the world needs people like Mad Mike in order to make it awesome and unique. We lost a good one this weekend.
Yeah, I know.
I'll say it.
Between Mad Mike and Kobe,
yeah,
we're losing our heroes left and right.
His memorial service today was heart-wrenching.
I turned it on and immediately turned it off. I was like, I don't feel like watching.
The only uplifting part was Michael Jordan got a laugh out of everyone when he's like, now I got to live with another crying Jordan meme.
Yeah. Anyways, before we get into the rest of the stories for today, let's take a quick second to thank today's sponsor, Warface.
Mm-hmm.
Warface is a dynamic first-person shooter available for free on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and now on the Nintendo Switch. You just download it, baby.
Mm-hmm.
The latest console version of Warface supports 4K and HDR. The game runs at 60 FPS in 4K Ultra HD quality with the HDR enabled on PlayStation 4 Pro or Xbox One X. Warface contains hundreds of unique types of weapons, and there are now 5 playable classes: Rifleman, Sniper, Medic, Engineer, and the new class called SED, which is brand new with Warface Titan update.
Mm-hmm.
Each of these classes comes with its own outfit, its own set of skills, and its own tools to achieve victory, and thus its own unique playstyle. So Warface provides a broad range of options for customization.
Yeah, the big news here this week is that not only has Warface recently rolled out its Titan update, they've also brought the game to the Nintendo Switch, and it is available now for free. Everyone knows one of the less represented genres on the Nintendo Switch is multiplayer first-person shooters. So it is really cool to see a game like this hit that market with years of development power behind it. Warface features both PvP and PvE modes, and while the Switch starts out with just a handful of different versions of these modes, they're keeping things interesting and helping you master the game by rolling out new features and modes on a rotation schedule each and every week. And whether you're on the Nintendo Switch, the PC, PlayStation, or Xbox, give Warface a shot right now for free by using our link down in the description below so you can experience everything the game has to offer. Support our show and get a free game in the process. A real win-win scenario. So thank you, Warface, for sponsoring this episode. Now let's get back into the news.
So this past weekend, YouTube continued to do what it does best by pissing off as many people as possible thanks to gross incompetence or lack of meaningful oversight. The productivity across the world came to a screeching halt on Saturday when the extremely popular 24/7 live stream known as Lo-Fi Hip Hop Radio Beats to Study To.
A name that I butcher every time we reference
it. It's like Beats to Chill / I don't know. I've seen different variations on it, but it's the YouTube channel Chilled Cow. That channel was taken down after YouTube concluded that the channel had somehow violated the site's terms of service. College students could no longer study.
No.
People could no longer vibe the fuck out. And rooms everywhere suddenly fell silent as the long-running stream ended due to the channel itself being terminated by YouTube's automated system.
People were pissed.
Yeah.
Just livid.
This is,
People probably doing exams and stuff this weekend they got to study for and writing reports.
Don't know what you got till it's gone.
Exactly. So the person behind the channel, they quickly took to Twitter, which is literally step 2 whenever YouTube fucks up.
Hey.
You just post a screenshot of exactly what YouTube did to you.
Team YouTube.
Yeah. So they posted a screenshot of the notification that they'd received from the site and asking YouTube support for an explanation. And it didn't take very long at all for YouTube to respond, almost certainly because they were receiving thousands upon thousands of tweets from people who were extremely upset that this channel and its stream were not only down, but also worried that the channel might be banned for good.
Mm-hmm.
And like with most problems on this site, this too was a mistake. Almost certainly triggered and enacted upon by an algorithm. And YouTube was able to reinstate the channel in less than 24 hours. So we made literally an oopsie.
And an unintended but actually pretty cool side effect from this takedown, though, was the fact that once the channel was back online, the previous stream, which somehow went unbroken.
I know.
There was like never, their power never went out. There was never an internet outage. Like it was on.
It
the
has
whole
to
time.
be like in a room that is completely separated from everything else.
Yeah.
Strong, like,
I just don't see how this is possible.
yeah,
But
like
they
a
did
connection
it.
like on a college campus or something where it's
Yeah.
like the uptime for this was incredible.
Yeah. Was this channel being run from like a government
I don't
bunker
know.
or something?
Like, did it have backup Ethernet?
This is hosted
Like,
from the Pentagon with like secret messages to trick us all into like fighting communism.
NORAD is like putting backwards messages in all these things.
It's I mean, it's just a little weird that a stream could be on for such an unbroken period of time.
You know what's even crazier? The day that the stream goes down, Bernie Sanders wins by like 48%.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, so you're all aware of this, but if not, whenever anyone ends a stream on YouTube, YouTube automatically turns that live stream into just a regular video on your channel, unless you specifically tell it not to.
Mm-hmm.
So when lo-fi hip-hop beats went down, even though the channel was temporarily banned, a VOD of the entire stream was created. And when the channel came back up, there it was in all of its glory, a 13,000-hour video with 218 million views.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Love it. Now, according to The Verge, this wasn't the first time that the channel had faced the chopping block. Back in 2017, the stream went offline for months because of a copyright claim against the artwork that was used on the stream, which was, at the time, an animated GIF from a Studio Ghibli film. The channel replaced that artwork with a similar version, but one that was ultimately free and clear from the threat of copyright infringement. Anyways, things are all back to normal now, and everyone can get back to work with some lo-fi vibes gently wafting through your ears in the background.
YouTube's been fucking up a lot lately. I didn't talk about this last week, but a bunch of like channels got held hostage, like Neebs Gaming.
By a bunch of the guys that did Battlefield Friends?
Yeah.
And it was by like these Bitcoin scammers?
Yeah, some Bitcoin. Yeah, it was super weird. It took like I don't even know if their shit is fixed yet. It's been over a week, and like they're still having issues with it.
I think they've started reverting it all back, but yeah.
And then for Weekly Weird News, when I uploaded that, I gave the video an actual name, saved it, information was all there, and then as soon as it went live, the name was just like my actual file name.
Did you use the new uploader?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I use that too. Horrendous.
Yeah, terrible.
I hate it.
Terrible.
And the only reason I started actually using it is because they threaten you on the upload now. It's like, this is going away.
Yeah.
You can no longer use Classic Studio in the very near future. So I'm like, all right, I gotta learn this one. It's annoying and terrible. And I was literally biting my nails the entire time until the video actually went live.
Yeah.
I was like, none of this is gonna work.
It's a piece of shit. Anyway, moving on now. We've got another random-ass sports miracle for you today. We had that NASCAR guy who survived certain death.
And he didn't even break any bones, apparently.
Unstoppable.
Oh.
Now, we're not sure why these crazy sports stories keep popping up, and we are nowhere near experts in any sport. We do enjoy watching them, but whatever. This one is cool enough to include, so here you go. So apparently in the NHL, the teams will keep emergency backup goalies in the ridiculously rare case that not one, but both of their starting and backup goalies are injured and cannot complete the game. According to the Washington Post, quote, NHL teams dress 2 goaltenders and typically would call on a minor league goalie due to injury or other emergency. If logistics make that impossible, teams are allowed to dress and play any available goaltending option, which is why local goalies with ties to the team or the sport are often on call, sometimes winding up on the bench and, in extremely rare cases, on the ice.
Well, this past weekend, the Carolina Hurricanes were facing off against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And both of the Hurricanes' goalies were forced out of the game due to an injury. An emergency backup goalie was needed in order to complete the game, so they had to go with whatever was available. And in this case, it was the arena's 42-year-old Zamboni driver named Dave Aries, who had to suit up and head out onto the ice. So what's crazier than that is that because the game took place in Toronto, he was obviously a fan of the Maple Leafs.
Oof.
But that didn't matter. He had to go out there and give it his all for the other team. And boy, did he.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when he was brought in, the score was 3-1 with Carolina leading. He gave up 2 shots, which allowed the Maple Leafs to tie the game. But that was just his nerves getting the better of him.
Yeah, he just...
Nothing sketchy happening here. Once he had calmed down and settled in, though, he blocked every other shot that was taken at him during the rest of the game and helped get Carolina the win with a final score of 6-3. I mean, bittersweet. I'm sure his friends and family probably very mixed feelings about all of this.
I can't remember if it was his wife or his girlfriend. Same person, by the way. I'm not saying that he had... I don't know if they were married or not yet, but she posted on Twitter, like, Jesus, fuck, or something like that. Very torn, like, loving the opportunity, but also help the other team win.
Yeah, it's a very conflicted situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, he helped his hometown's rival team secure a victory over his home team. But I mean, other than that, what a fucking experience for him. It's the kind of thing sports fans dream about.
Apparently, like I was reading some articles about it, and apparently he got texts before like the coaches had actually asked him to do it because people saw that the other guy was injured, and it was like people were like, if this goalie gets injured, what's going to happen? Someone's like texting him like, get on the ice.
This is like the sports version of like Designated Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Kiefer Sutherland, you're the president now. The rest of the politicians are all dead.
Well, so also in addition to that, like a lot of the other emergency backup goalies, he did play hockey growing up.
Yeah.
And apparently, I don't know if he was ever going to become a professional hockey player, but he was continually playing hockey until he had to get a kidney transplant to save his life. He got his kidney from his mom, which, very cool story.
Yeah.
But apparently that was the end of any kind of like professional
Understandable
hopes for him.
Yeah. But yeah, by helping the Hurricanes secure the win, Mr. Ayers became the oldest goalie in league history to win his regular season debut.
Yeah, it's great.
So for his time, he was paid $500, and he gets to keep his Hurricanes jersey. Also, his stick is apparently going to be put in the Hockey Hall of Fame, as it should.
I love this story is all great, except for and it sucks that Toronto lost. I guess it turned out to be a much better story that they lost and the Canes won. Mm-hmm. But he said that the support from the Toronto fan base was unwavering still, even though they lost.
Yeah, it's just a cool story.
Apparently, he was wearing like Maple Leafs clothes under it, and he put the suit on over it with the Hurricanes logo and everything.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, in addition to the $500 and the amazing fact that his stick is going to the Hockey Hall of Fame, the Hurricanes, they've released a shirt with his name on the back, and they're going to be paying the royalties made from that merch directly to him and a kidney foundation of his choosing. So this is a great story all around.
Yeah.
And we needed one after Mad Mike perished.
Yeah. Yeah. It's you love to see it.
Yes.
And I very much do. Anyways.
Yeah, check out Warface. The link's down below. And then also we have a brand new podcast up.
For our Patreonies and our YouTube memberonies. There's a new podcast.
Hey, memberonies. If you want to join and become a YouTube member, there's a join button down there. Anyways, watch our most recent episode of Weekly Weird News and our most recent episode of News Dump. And we'll see you very shortly for a new Tech News Day.
R.I.P. Mad Mike.
Damn. Bye.